Hello, and thank you for being part of our Only a Ring Away Wellness Check program. This presentation is meant to familiarize you with the program and equip you with the tools you need to assess the well-being and needs of clients through weekly phone calls. Ypsilanti Meals on Wheels' Only One Ring Away program is a weekly well-being telephone check-in program. This new service, initiated as a response to the current COVID-19 outbreak, will begin Monday, March 30th, and continue until we are able to resume a normal service schedule. The Only a Ring Away program is intended to provide contact via telephone with our clients while the state of Michigan and Washtenaw County are under orders to shelter in place due to expansion of COVID-19. Weekly calls will be made to every YMOW client, with more frequent calls to clients who exhibit the need for more socialization. Prior approval from Allison is needed before calls are expanded to beyond once a week. Because client care associates and delivery drivers will be assessing clients at low to moderate risk verbally during meal delivery, these calls shouldn't solely focus on assessing symptoms and health status. They also should serve as an informal well-being check and a distraction from the news of the day. Calls should build rapport and also provide key information about the client's mental and physical well-being. However, should a YMOW caller notice a cough, signs of extreme sadness or distress in a client, have a client report a fever, general sense of unwellness, or any other concerning health status change, the caller should immediately report the change in status to YMOW's social worker, Kim, at kim@ymow.org, or Bethany, Director of Clinical and Community Services, at bethany@ymow.org. Staff can also be reached via phone at 734-487-9669. Voicemails are appropriate if left on the phone line of direct staff and not the general mailbox, which may not be monitored as frequently throughout the day. Callers will receive the name, telephone numbers, and emergency contacts only for the clients they are to call for that week. The names and phone numbers will be sent securely and encrypted through Gmail. Each Friday, callers will receive a list of clients to be called throughout the week, preferably on Tuesday or Thursday when meals are no longer being delivered. Every effort will be made to pair callers with the same clients each week. Confidential Gmail will allow us to safely distribute information necessary to make client calls without violating client privacy or HIPAA law. To access your call list, open the message in your email as usual. To open the confidential message, you must enter a secure code that Gmail will send to your cell phone. The confidential message will remain available for 1 week, but a new passcode must be sent and entered each time the message is opened. Confidential messages, including attachments, cannot be copied, forwarded, or downloaded. This system works for both Gmail and non-Gmail accounts, such as Yahoo. Again, the primary purpose of these calls is to assess a client's physical and emotional well-being, as well as to determine any needs for further support. Callers will complete an online survey documenting the content of each call. In this survey, be sure to report any out-of-the-ordinary symptoms, emerging or new health concerns. Also report any unusual behaviors, such as confusion, agitation, or signs of anxiety. If you suspect any form of abuse, including financial, note it in the survey and report it to Bethany or Kim. Also report any needs or concerns expressed by the client. Confidentiality is of utmost importance. Contact YMOW staff whenever any questions arise concerning confidentiality. As an Only a Ring Away caller, you will be privy to client information that is personal and highly confidential. It is essential that you maintain total confidentiality and honor your chit-chat chum's privacy. These calls should remain private between you and the client. Your conversation, including information gathered in the daily survey, should never be shared with family, friends, or colleagues who are not directly involved in the client's care. You will be asked to read and sign a confidentiality agreement that indicates your understanding and commitment to honor this policy. Should confidentiality be breached, you may be terminated from the program at the discretion of the YMOW Executive Director. Every call should begin the same way. Start by telling the client who you are and why you're calling. Hello, I'm representing Ypsilanti Meals on Wheels. My name is Sandy, and I'm calling to see how you're doing today. During your first call, establish how the person prefers to be addressed. Some might prefer Mrs. or Mr., while others will want to be called by their first name. Always call the client by their last name until directed otherwise. If the person seems tired, distracted, or disinterested in the call, ask if you can call back at a better time. Then be sure to do so. Don't be surprised if you have to reintroduce yourself with each call. Many seniors experience memory loss. Finally, be sure not to call too early or too late. Generally, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. is a safe window for calls. Every call should include the questions on the Only a Ring Away survey. However, be careful not to make the call sound impersonal. Work the questions into your conversation. Use your usual vocabulary and speak in a normal tone. If the client asks you to speak louder, do so. Allow the person to speak freely. If they get off topic, gently bring them back when there's a break in conversation. Try to focus on one topic at a time to avoid confusion. Don't be afraid to do the talking. Reassure the client that we haven't and won't forget about them, and that we are here to inform them and help them. Finally, be an active listener. Many seniors need to talk about their medical conditions, their grievances, and other issues like loneliness and broken family relationships. It's important to really listen and make them feel like what they have to say is important. More on that later. Before making your first call, find a quiet place where you are unlikely to be disrupted. Have the survey loaded on your computer and ready to go. Have a pen and paper nearby for additional notes, and jot down a few topics that you might bring up if conversation lags. A note about boundaries. Building rapport with a client for the purpose of socialization and monitoring well-being is different from building a personal relationship. Personal relationships involve two-way helping and support, such as those found among friends and family. Professional relationships, such as the ones between you and the clients you are calling, are for specific time frames and purposes. Focus on the client needs. Maintain a helpful relationship, treating each client with the same quality of attention and care, regardless of your emotional reaction to that client. It may be tempting to talk to your client about your personal life or problems. Doing so may cause the client to see you as a friend instead of seeing you as the healthcare professional that you are. As a result, the client may take on your worries as well as their own. Use caution when talking to a client about your personal life. Do not share information because you need to talk or to help you feel better. Avoid using nicknames and endearments such as sweetie or honey, which might suggest a more personal interest than you intend. Such terms also can seem condescending or offensive to some clients. Appropriate nicknames such as Sue for Susan or Bob for Robert, of course, are fine. Some clients will want to talk more than others, but do your best to give each client a similar amount of attention. Finally, do not keep personal or health-related secrets with a client. Remember that your role is to accurately assess your client's well-being and to report any changes in your client's condition. Before you begin making calls, familiarize yourself with resources that could be used to fill your chit-chat chum's unmet needs. YMOW has resources and partners who may be able to help. If you believe a client could benefit from any of these resources, please contact Kim at kim@ymow.org or call 734-487-9669. The time has finally come to make your first call. The phone is ringing and your palms are sweaty. What do you say for your first meeting with your chit-chat chum? The first thing you should say is hello. I'm representing Ypsilanti Meals on Wheels. My name is Bob, Sally. Insert your name here. This tells the client right away who you are, who you represent, and reassures them that this is a safe call. Next, ask for the person you wish to talk to. If you're not sure how to pronounce the person's name, it's polite to do your best and then ask, "Did I say your name correctly?" And if they correct you, be sure to listen carefully and say it correctly the next time. Be sure to explain the purpose of your call, to check on them and to see how they're doing. Then jump right in. Remember that as much as this is a wellness check, it is also a well-being call. Chatting can break up an otherwise monotonous day and provide a distraction from isolation or fear of COVID-19 news. Try asking the client what they had for breakfast or lunch, what they're watching on TV, or the signs of spring that they see happening outside their window. Take notes during and after the call to document what the conversation entailed, any concerns that need to be followed up on, and to answer questions on the survey. Now, back to that active listening we talked about before. Let's try one more activity. You're driving a bus. At the first stop, 8 people get on. At the second stop, 3 people get off. At the last stop, 2 people get on. How old is the bus driver? Did you get the answer correct? How old are you? Don't worry, you don't really have to tell. You've just built a new ranch and are choosing color schemes for your home. Since blue is your favorite color, you decide that you will use only blue throughout your house. What color is your bathroom? Get the idea? Let's try one more just for fun. Albert the butcher is 6 feet tall and wears a size 12 shoe. What does he weigh? Meat, of course. I think you're ready to go. As the final step in preparation for conversations with your chit-chat chums, try role-playing to practice your active listening skills with your family members or friends. Upon the conclusion of this training, take a few minutes to try out your active listening skills using the included YouTube videos listed here. Some final do's and don'ts before we get started. Allow the client time to answer the phone. You may have to let the phone ring several times before they answer. Try to allow the phone to ring at least 15 times. Many clients are slow to get to the phone. If there's no answer, leave a voicemail message. Many people are hesitant to answer a call from a number they don't recognize, so call back a few minutes later. Make at least 2 attempts to call. If there's still no answer, call the emergency contact included in your client list. If you are able to reach one of the emergency contacts, be sure to log that within your call survey. For your peace of mind, you may want to request the emergency contact call you back once they have checked on the client. If you are unable to reach any of the emergency contacts, call or email Kim or Bethany. Accept individuals for who they are. Cheer them up, but don't argue or try to change the way they think. Be patient. You may have to repeat yourself or ask a question more than once. Part of your job as an only a ring away caller is to add a little cheer to a person's day, but it might not always be easy. Always remember, no matter how impatient or sometimes even rude a senior may be to you, you are representing YMOW. This is when you need to be a duck. Just let it run right off you. Here's an effective response you may use to calm an agitated client. Say, "I'm sorry you're upset. I don't have the authority to handle your situation, but I'll make sure the right person gets this information and follows up with you." You are not expected to stay on a call where someone is swearing at you, being combative, overly disrespectful, or cannot be calmed. If this occurs, just firmly and respectfully let them know that you cannot stay on the phone and hang up. Make a note of this occurrence and let YMOW staff know. Smile. They can't see it, but it can be heard on the other end of the phone. YMOW clients are often lonely and may be hesitant to initiate the end of the call. Take the initiative and politely inform your chit-chat chum that you will call again. Reassure them by setting a time for the next call. Be sure to speak clearly and distinctly. Speak with a positive attitude and a genuine interest in your chit-chat chum. Always end on a positive note. Let the senior know what a pleasure it was to speak with them. Confirm with the senior when your next call will be. Do not try to answer questions you have no answer for. When in doubt, let the client know you will relay your question to YMOW staff, who will follow up with them soon. Now for the don'ts. Don't speak in a monotone voice. Be sure to use an upbeat, friendly, but sincere voice when speaking to your chit-chat chums. Avoid mumbling. Don't talk down to a person or use a high-pitched baby voice. Talk to them like the adults they are. Don't get over-involved. Remember that the senior's problems are not your responsibility. Any concerns regarding the senior's well-being should be reported to Kim or Bethany, not resolved by you personally. The following slides contain additional information and resources to help you as we begin our wellness call program. Thank you for reviewing them carefully. If you notice a client is focused on the news, encourage them to watch something just for fun. Suggest a show that you enjoy, such as The Voice, The Masked Singer, Wheel of Fortune. You may be surprised at the variety of shows you have in common. You might want to familiarize yourself with some of the other current shows on network TV, as many seniors don't have access to expanded channels, cable, or online streaming services such as Netflix or Hulu. It's important that you know what to do in the unlikely case of an emergency. The initial minutes after an injury or medical crisis frequently are the most important. The key is knowing what to do, remaining calm, and making a decision to act. If the person you are calling is experiencing a medical emergency, ask for their address and call 911. If the person is unable to provide their address, contact their emergency contact and YMOW. If you call 911, do not hang up until instructed to do so by the operator. Notify YMOW as soon as reasonably possible after an emergency occurs by calling 734-487-9669. If you have a concern arising from a conversation with a chit-chat chum, but it is not an emergency, inform the client that you will pass on their concern to YMOW and record it on their daily survey. If your chit-chat chum reports a fall or cannot get up on their own, ask if they are hurt and call 911 if necessary. Ask for details of the fall. Where did it take place? Did it result in bruises or an injury? Does anything hurt? Even if they say they are not hurt, encourage them to follow up with their physician. You may want to report the fall to the client's emergency contact as well. If the client is experiencing shortness of breath, ask for details. Is this a new condition? How long have they experienced it? Call 911 if necessary. If at any point 911 is called, notify YMOW as soon as possible. When in doubt, always contact YMOW staff at 734-487-9669. Be sure to call YMOW staff if any of the following should occur. You are unable to reach your chit-chat chum after 2 to 3 attempts. Your chit-chat chum reports significant changes in their health or a recent fall. Your chit-chat chum needs a referral to a community resource, has an unmet need, concern, or needs additional help. Call whenever there are questions or concerns you are unable to answer, or if your desire to continue your wellness checks has changed. If you are temporarily unable to make your wellness check calls, let us know right away. If you suspect any kind of abuse, neglect, or exploitation, such as complaints of money disappearing, stories of suspected phone scams, or unusual fear, report them immediately to YMOW. Our hope is to provide these calls to every YMOW client. However, there are certain circumstances that may result in a client's removal from the program, including the death of a participant, upon which we will offer calls to the caregiver for a limited time, termination at the request of the client, actions such as inappropriate conduct, behavior, or language by the client could also result in removal. Thank you once again for helping us support our Meals on Wheels clients and working to ensure their well-being. Please don't hesitate to call or email the YMOW team with any questions or concerns. Stay safe, be healthy, and be encouraged by the work you're doing to help others. Know that the YMOW team could not accomplish this mission without you.